Hello everybody, welcome back. Today I would like to talk about the novel The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind is about the true story of a young Malawian genius named William Kamkwamba who built a windmill in the early 2000s to save his entire family from a drought and famine. Using that same windmill, he made electricity for his entire community and village. William Kamkwamba and his family live in Malawi, which is a country in southern Africa. In Malawi, they live in a village called Wimbe. In Wimbe, they own a huge farm where they grow tobacco and maize and some other crops. And with the maize, they make a dish called sima, and with the sima, they have it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But during the famine, they had to cut down to one meal per day, and they decided to have only dinner because their corn supplies were going down because of the drought. So they only had to have dinner, and they chose to eat dinner because it's easier to forget about food during the day and going to bed with a full belly rather than eating first thing in the morning and then going hungry throughout the day. William's family is penniless during the famine and drought of 2000 and 2001, and in the middle of William's 7th grade education, he had to drop out because his family could not afford to pay his fees. When William and his friends Geoffrey and Gilbert are not at the Wimbe primary school or helping their family in the fields, they go to the scrapyard and make toys from scraps. William was interested in science, and he wanted to become a scientist instead of becoming a farmer. One day, William witnesses a friend of his father's riding a bicycle with a dynamo attached to it. A dynamo is a machine that converts mechanical energy into electricity. When you pedal on a bicycle, it's because of the dynamo that the light lights up. So William got interested in dynamos after experimenting with the bicycle when the owner of it was gone, and then he asked for the owner of the bicycle for more information about the dynamo. So after William dropped out of his school in his 7th grade, he was still allowed to use the school's library, and he was interested in 3 specific books: Using Energy, Integrated Science, and Explaining Physics. And on the cover of Using Energy, there's a windmill, and at the time William did not know what a windmill was, and he thought it was a huge tower, a huge white tower with blades spinning. And after learning that a windmill would help pump water into his family's fields so they could get double the crops, and after learning that it would produce electricity and he could wire lights into their family's house, William gets interested in windmills and decides to build one. He spends his days in the scrapyard looking for any parts that would be useful for the windmill, and for parts that he can't find, he creates them from other scraps. So in the end, he has all the parts except for the crucial generator, or in other words, dynamo. And at the end, he finally convinces his dad to lend the family's bike for the windmill. At the end, William and his friends assemble the parts, make a tower, and do the final assembly of the windmill. A crowd gathers to watch. After the dynamo light flickers on, everyone thinks it's a miracle, but it's really science. After looking at the windmill and finding out how to wire lights into his house and make water pump into his fields, William turns to other scientific projects like biogas. While some of the projects were successful and some are not, but all of them worked to fill the lack of schooling in William's life. Though after more people learned about the windmill, he got accepted to several colleges in Africa and the United States. And the conclusion of this book, after the main story in The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, William says that his dream is that kids in Africa will get a formal education and they will progress and prosper in their lives. And today William is working in Africa to make sure that kids in Malawi and other countries get their formal education. And that's what he says at the end of this book. So that's basically the story. I hope you like this book. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.